Hello and welcome to today's Club Everton Daily. The date is Friday the 6th of January 2012. I'm Gray, back again as ever, and it's Friday, so it's obviously quiet. It's the day before our FA Cup match against Tamworth. Not much to report on actually, but you know, there are still a couple of bits that need covering, so we'll talk about them dead quickly. What are we going to talk about today then? Well, we've got our news roundup. We're going to have a round table where we go through the transfer gossip, and our article of interest is going to be TV Watch, review of the month on screen from Simon Tyers. That is from the January edition of When Saturday Comes magazine. If you are followers, we'll give you all the contact details at the end, but for now we'll start with the news. And the first piece of news is that we are still waiting for news on the injuries sustained during Wednesday's match against Bolton. Leon Osman is not really that much of a concern. Well, obviously any player that gets hit is a concern, but he's expected to be back relatively soon. However, Moyes is still waiting for news regarding Phil Jagielka and Jack Rodwell, who both... Jack Rodwell apparently pulled up with a hamstring strain, and we've yet to find out what's wrong with Jagielka. Either way, we wish all of them a speedy recovery. Well, we need them to really, because the squad is like wafer thin at the moment, and any injury could really mess us up. In other news, youngster Aristote Ciala is going on loan to Accrington Stanley. He's yet to make an appearance for the Blues, but he has been an unused sub once. And the only other, well, there's two more bits of news as well, actually. First one is that Shane Duffy has been recalled from his loan from Scunthorpe United. The Republic of Ireland has returned to Goodison Park, as he's going to be acting as cover ahead of the Toffees FA Cup match against Tamworth. This is in response to Phil Jagielka's injury. And the final bit of news, which is a bit of a transfer rumour. Apparently, Everton are tracking FC20 striker Nasil Shadli, who was close to signing for Fulham in the summer and remains on Martin Jol's radar, but apparently David Moyes is now in the hunt as well. Unfortunately, it looks as if he's going to be wanting money for his services, so that immediately probably rules us out of the running for any transfer. Oh well. Anyway, that's it for the news. Let's move on to our roundtable, which is of course the transfer gossip. First one from the Daily Racist. Man United manager Alex Ferguson is considering a sensational move for unsettled Chelsea midfielder Frank Lampard. Paving the way for Lampard's arrival could be the departure of Man United midfielder wonder kid Paul Pogba, who has had offers from AC Milan and Inter and looks set to leave the club in the summer. That's according to Goal.com. Daily Express reports that the Red Shite and Man City will face a battle to sign highly rated 17-year-old Birmingham forward Nathan Redmond. The Mirror reports that Harry Redknapp is planning a £12 million double bid for Blackburn's Chris Samba and winger Junior Hoylett, while defender Vedran Korluka looks likely to be sold to West Ham. The Telegraph report the Spurs are also trying to sign £15 million Brazilian international midfielder Ganso from Santos. The Metro reports that Inter will use Wesley Sneijder as a make-weight in a deal for outcast Man City striker Carlos Tevez. The Racist reports that QPR manager Neil Warnock is hopeful of signing Fulham striker Andy Johnson after Blackburn's bid stalled due to financial constraints. Metro reports that clubs including Tottenham, the Red Shite and Sunderland have been alerted to the availability of Wigan's Victor Moses after the winger's agent revealed that talks over a new contract have stalled. The Mirror reports that Owen Coyle wants Bolton target Tim Ream to take his honeymoon in Horwich. The American centre-half is getting married in his homeland this weekend, just as the Trotters are set to seal a £2.5 million deal to buy him from MLS side New York Red Bulls. The Racist reports that Wigan are looking to sign Man United striker Mame Briam Diouf on loan. Footy Bunker reports that the Red Shite are considering a move for Celtic's Welsh right back Adam Matthews, with sources suggesting that the club are contemplating a bid for the 19-year-old. Metro reports that Arsenal are battling with Everton and 14 other European clubs for the services of VVV Venlo winger Ahmed Moussa, 19 years of age, after the club confirmed he's set to leave the Eredivisie outfit during the January transfer window. Caught offside reports that Arsenal are looking to bring in Anderlecht forward Matias Suarez this January to provide further backup for Robin van Persie up front. In other news, the Evening Standard from London reports that Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech is expected to finalise terms on a new contract with the Stamford Bridge club soon, which will tie him to the club until 2017, when he'll be 35. Lancashire Telegraph reports that the editors of 9 Blackburn Rovers supporters websites, which have more than 12,000 registered members in total, have released a joint statement expressing their disgust at the running of the club by owner Venky's. And finally, there's 2 of them. The Daily Mirror reports that football pundit and Strictly Come Dancing star Robbie Savage has become the latest sports person to pose naked for Cosmo. And I've just thrown up a little in my mouth. And finally, the Daily Mirror reports that Harry Redknapp has vented his anger at Spurs players for following the latest Premier League trend of cutting the feet off their socks and instead using short tennis ones to get more of a grip on the boots. The fuck? Right, well anyway, that is the transfer gossip, so now we'll move on to our article of interest for today, which is TV Watch, the review of the month on screen. Whisper it. For fear of TV columnists suddenly finding themselves surplus to requirements in these financially strained times. But viewers of highlight shows don't really care about what happens for much of the programme. As long as the action is plentiful and well edited, and the bits in between don't inspire excessive seppuku, you can by and large get away with it. Television doesn't think of itself like that though. Match of the Day moved to its new Salford Media City Centre complex at the start of October, and were the BBC keen to tell us at every given opportunity. A Match of the Day 2 montage paid special tribute to the many years of shows we've never connected with a London broadcast centre. Dan Walker pointed to Television Centre as an example of what we'll be leaving behind. Gary Lineker sought to connect the current Manchester Premier League dominance with their coming to town. When Lineker later highlighted Gabriel Agbonlaho's movements off the ball, Mark Lawrenson even suggested that this must be down to the Manchester air. Incidentally, Lawrenson appeared to have misunderstood the rules of Movember. His straggly beard, along with the whitening hair and eye bags, made it look as if he'd been woken up under a bridge just before 10 PM. All this activity implied that the viewers of Match of the Day would be affected by the changes, but it wasn't clear how. After all, the Football League show is staying put. Presumably, they either don't want to let the studio go to waste, or they want to send the implicit message that this is now the old-fashioned way to broadcast highlights. Where we expected to imagine that the move was fraught with emotion, that the director general and governors gathered at the exit gate fretfully waving tear-stained hankies? Of course not. Apart from the unnecessary graphs, split screens of rotating stadium graphics, you'd be hard-pressed to notice any difference. Given that Alan Hansen, Alan Shearer and Mark Lawrenson all live in the north, the money saved from moving only one on-screen talent, Lineker, halfway across the country every Saturday, might prove to be the best outcome of the relocation. After the licence fee freeze, every little helps. Is there a reason Lineker sits on the left of the screen in the new studio setup but Colin Murray sits on the right? Rather than having a comfortable in-the-round sofa to lounge on, Murray now has to perch on what looks like a deluxe office chair, which gives him the unfortunate look of an intern messing around while the boss is out. As the first week up north coincided with Sir Alex Ferguson's 25th anniversary at Old Trafford, Lee Dixon was put in charge of selecting a representative United 11 of the period, which he warned in advance would be a bit controversial. He said this twice more while running down the team, his nearness seeming to overwhelm some of his immediate thought processes, as he called both David Beckham and Ryan Giggs Mr. Manchester United. In the space of 10 seconds, no less. The controversies involved picking Nemanja Vidic and, grab the green ink pen for this one, Eric Cantona. Murray might have pulled them up on this had he not been required. Once Dixon finished, to bring up a graphic of the show's own compiled second 11, like it mattered. Everyone has an opinion, but some are too ready to share it before their full attention is fully engaged. Jamie Carragher was ITV's star pundit for England's friendly against Spain, acting as nationalistic backup to Gareth Southgate, whose new position as the station's #1 studio pundit is a handy low benchmark for other guests to aim at. Carragher, it became clear, is one of those who believes the sun is yet to set on the golden generation. Having seen a team sheet to set out a defensive midfield, then watched a half in which England had clearly been told to sit back, Carragher picked out the crucial flaw in Phil Jones' game. He hasn't got forward enough. Carragher's antidote? You'd love to see Frank Lampard or Steven Gerrard in that position, both of whom he went on to mention in conjunction 3 times to get his message across. as well as revealing that a centre-back isn't as good as attacking as an advanced midfielder. Geiger went some way to proving why the national team never seems to learn. Well, that's our article of interest for today. Thanks a lot for listening to the updates. We do appreciate your support. If you want to get in touch with us, you can like us on Facebook. Go to Facebook, search for Club Everton, you'll find us there. Follow us on Twitter @Club Everton. Join us on Club Everton Forum, clubeverton.co.uk/forum. We also have a Google Plus page that we hardly update. And whatever wacky social media website comes out next, you can imagine we'll probably have an account on it. So yeah, that's about it. Last thing I'll mention is that Club Everton Radio is brought to you by Hans Stores, or I should say Club Everton Dailies are brought to you by Hans Stores. First class away day travel. For more information, visit hansstores.co.uk or give Hannah a ring on 077 521 21395. Hans Stores, first class away day travel. Club Everton, our club, your community.